But are the American kids
Well,
soft?
what
That's
they
why I
told
want
me,
you.
they're
I
like,
want you to.
we cannot go so hard on them like we used to, like when we were kids and we used to train.
Well, that's what I'm curious about. I want you to be honest. Like, do you think Americans are? Because we can be soft sometimes on our kids.
Yes.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Growth Snacks. My guest today is a championship caliber acrobat and performer. This is someone who's won championships at the highest level and has so many tips about what resilience looks like, how to bring discipline to your life at a championship level, and then what happens when you're ready to move on to the next chapter of your life, how to bring all that discipline into whatever you're working on. If that sounds like it'll be useful for you, then this is the right place for you to be. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And that being said, let's hop on in. Ella, thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm happy to be here.
How do you define what you do or what you did? Are you an acrobat? Do you consider yourself a performer? Do you consider yourself a gymnast? What would you label it?
All of it.
All of it?
Yes.
But for the sake of this conversation.
First, I was an acrobat. Then I
Okay.
became a performer. But I'm still an acrobat performer. But I was not performing at the beginning. I would say, like, I started when I was 5 years old. And this is a sport when the kids are go-to, and it's better to go in early age. So you can grow up and transform your body in a way that you're able to do all those tricks and do competitions and become a successful athlete in sport. So yeah, acrobatic gymnastic was my sport. I did it for all my childhood, since 5 till 19 years old, professionally. A lot of trainings, competitions, winning of Ukrainian Championship, becoming a first in my country, and then representing Ukraine on all the world championships, Europe championships. Yeah, it's been a long journey of being in sport for me.
To me, you're a professional athlete. That's what you are.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
You represented the Ukraine
Yes. I
as a
represented
gymnast or as an
Ukraine.
acrobat?
Acrobat.
Okay.
So gymnastic has 3 different kinds. It's rhythmic gymnastic, that is Olympic kind of sport. Sport gymnastic, that is also Olympic sport. And acrobatic gymnastic, it's not an Olympic sport. We hope it will become at some point, because it slowly maybe will happen. But yeah, so 3 kind of gymnastics. And I am acrobatic gymnastics.
And you were the Ukrainian champion.
I won Ukrainian championship many times when I was in sport. It's also different categories. When you're smaller and when you grow up, you do Ukrainian championships every year. And then they choose the best to go to Europe championships and world championships.
Okay, so we're sitting here and we're speaking to a Ukrainian champion acrobat right
Yes.
now. Okay, which is great because what I wanted to talk to you about today was mindset, resilience, especially coming from someone who's an athlete. And I know you're going through a transition in your life right now. And so we'll get to that later. Catalyst for this was I saw you in Vegas a couple of weeks ago. And when we were hanging out, you said something like, if someone wants to be good at this, they have to start so young. Because let's say today I decide, man, I saw Ella perform. I want to do what Ella does. I can't actually do it because the muscle training required, you have to start so young.
This is more about professional level of being an athlete. Like if you want to do competitions, if you want to do sport, you need to start young, because when you start young, your body is still forming. It's still becoming a certain way that you will grow up and you will look like that. But in sport, you need to grow up and your muscles have to transform in a way that you grow up and you are able to do those tricks. So your muscles getting stronger, getting shaped, getting in a way that you're able to do like this bendy handstand, holding somebody on your foot. You know, like if normal person who never done sport would try to do it, it probably would be very painful and impossible. If your body is ready for it, and getting ready for it was a lot of trainings and many years.
I'm curious what the training was like, because I just imagine, I've seen all these movies like, I'll say like a John Wick or something like that. And in these movies, there's always these Russian or Ukrainian or Bosnian academies where they're training kids really hard to do what they do. That's the mental picture I have in my mind of what the Ukrainian like acrobat scene is like. Is that close at all? Is it brutal for a kid or?
Well, there was moments that were very hard. There was moments that made me want to quit many, many times, especially like at the end of my career, when the trainings get harder and harder and you're getting ready for very important competitions like World Championship, I would say you know what you're doing it for. Like it becomes a purpose of your life. Like this competition that you're about to have in 4 years becomes a purpose of your life. And you know that 3 minutes of your life would cost 4 years of trainings. And you need to do your best to become the best in sport.
So you're spending 4 years of your life training for a 3-minute routine.
Yes, exactly.
And when you're doing the training, are there times when you must be hurting yourself, there's blood, there's tears in the process? Yes.
Of course, yes. This is sport. This is, the result that you want to get usually doesn't come easy.
Right.
If you want to learn a specific trick that you never been able to do before and you really want to do, it requires discipline. It requires hard trainings and stretching and working out. So one day you're able to do it. I think it's something similar how you go with your goals in life.
It must be. I think if you want to be the best at anything in life, it takes a ton of work that no one ever sees.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking, what is the work so for example, like a handstand, right? Mm-hmm. For you to be able to hold a handstand as long as you can, or to be able to walk on a handstand, and what does the actual training look like?
I actually remember a moment when I saw the handstand first time in my life. I was probably around 5 or 6 years old. I just came to this acrobatic training. I was like so small, and I knew how to do a cartwheel before because my mom was a fitness coach, and sometimes I would come to her trainings from like 1-2 years old. And then I go to this gym and I see like an older girl. She's going on canes and she jumps on it and she does a handstand. And I'm like, what is that? How is it possible to do this? Looks so cool. She's a superhero. I want to do that. And then it took me probably maybe like a couple years to learn how to do it.
Really?
I don't remember exactly how long, but I remember I was around 5 and I saw this older girl and she did a handstand and I was so impressed. I felt like she's a superhero and I want to be the same. That's something that makes you stay and that makes you work on your goal because you think like this is incredible. This is what you want to be. And doesn't matter how hard it is to reach your goal, you will do it.
We do, but for so many of us, our goals are, I want to build this business, I want to have this relationship. It's these longer term things. Yeah. And if I try a tactic for my business out and it doesn't work, I just go try a different one. But you're training for 4 years of your life for a 3-minute routine. That must be so much pressure.
It's not just that. I'm saying it because like World Championship is just one time in 4 years. But before that, there's Europe Championship. There is one time in 2 years, I think. Doesn't matter. Like there's many competitions that still makes you feel excited and still like you're getting ready for, and you got to work on your tricks and you got to represent your country, and you always like try to keep this label to be the best in your country so you can keep competing and representing Ukraine. Yeah, it's many things that keeps you want to do it, but also you do it because you love it. You do it because you feel good. You do it because you're always working out. You keep your body in shape. You've been healthy. You have a discipline, and you work with your coach. That is an incredible coach that I had, and your partners in sports. So it's many things. Also, I would say the family support is very important when you're in professional sport. That would probably help me a lot at the end of my athletic career.
Was there a point where your family realized you wanted to be a professional at this and like a champion level performer? And did they almost go into a higher gear of how they supported you?
Yes, they always supported me. Even sometimes my dad would be like, oh no, why she's doing that? She's hurting herself. Like, it's not for girls. Like, she has big shoulders now. Look at her. It's funny, but he was never serious about it. But sometimes I remember he would be like complaining a little bit. I mean, now he's so proud and he always shows the photos really and tell all his friends like where I am and where I was performing and when I won my competitions, of course. But there was a moment when I remember he was complaining a little bit. but they always would support me. My mom and my dad and my brother, they would always support me. And when I wanted to quit, they would say like, you have to stay, like you are strong, you can do it. And also with my mom is massage therapist, so she would give me massages and she would talk to me. Like, you always have to talk to your family, and you always have to feel that they're here with you and you can do it, because it's hard physical trainings.
Can I share a story about your mom?
Yes.
All right. I was in town 2 weeks ago. I ran a high rocks race. It was my first high rocks, and I was feeling sore. So my wife reached out to you and she asked if you knew a great massage therapist in town. And you said, yes, my mom.
There's nobody better than my mom.
And usually if someone says, oh yeah, my mom does this, I wouldn't believe that their mom was that good at it. But because it was you and you're this professional athlete and performer, I thought, okay, I'll give it a shot. And so I met your mom, and
She worked with Cirque du Soleil one time too.
Did she?
Yes.
From the moment I met your mom, I knew this was gonna hurt. There was something about her. Because I mean, she grew up in the Soviet Union. Like, I could just tell she has an intensity to her from where she grew. I don't know where it comes from. I imagine it's from where she grew up. And so I felt like when she turns it on and she means business, she really means business. And that massage was by far the hardest massage I've ever had.
But you told me you want a hard one. And I told you, like, make sure it's hard.
I didn't realize there was hard and then Ukrainian hard, right? Like, there was almost this other level of, and for a second, I will tell you, when I really sat there and I was getting the massage, I thought, wow, this is what pro athletes feel like when they're getting a massage. When they get body work done, it's not like the rest of us getting body work that just goes to a normal massage place. It's painful. So I was thinking about that as I was getting it, and I was thinking about you. Like, wow, did Ella get massages like this her whole life that were this painful? I was grateful for it when I went and did the race, but there were moments I wanted to tap out.
Really?
And I did, and I just sucked it up. She couldn't see my face because my face wasn't.
You could say how you feel if you wanted less or stronger.
Nope. I'm not gonna punk out. I said I wanted
it. Because you told me you want a hard massage, and I made sure that she will do it hard for you.
She did exactly what she was told to do, and she did it so well. What I'm saying is, I don't think I was prepared for what hard meant to her.
Okay.
And she was thinking, hey, here's an athlete. I'm gonna get them ready for this race. And so she met it with that level of intensity, and I don't think I was ready for it. It was a life lesson for me, because the whole race, I'll be honest, the whole race for me, Ella, was, I've always considered myself athletic, but I'm older now. And so when I ran that race, it was me running against people who are athletes, but they're also in their prime.
How do you feel yourself, in the prime or not in the prime?
Mentally or physically?
Both.
Mentally, I feel
it's important to be both.
Mentally, I feel like I'm in my prime.
Okay.
Mentally, I feel like anything I want my body to do, I can do it. I just can't do it as long as I used to be able to. Does your body feel like that at all now?
I feel like I'm able to do everything I want to do, but in sport, it's another level. Like, in sport, when you're 18, you're already grandma. Like, usually girls are quit in acrobatics, not quit, but leave and move to something else, like to the shows or industry, because it's just a lot of hard tricks that your body have to do. And it's like 5 hours in the gym every day, and you have to do like 100 times the same trick over and over again. When in a circus show, for example, I can come and I can do this trick like 5 times, as many as I feel like I want to do, and perform it beautifully on stage, and I'm done. When in sport, you're doing it so much more that sometimes you don't feel like you want to do it or can't do it, but you push yourself and force yourself to do it. So you're like a soldier. Like, when you go and you perform for the 3 minutes on the carpet during the competition, you're like a soldier. It's like tick, 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 tick. It's perfect, like everything, because you can lose by doing like this tiny step to the side. And if you're in the world championship, you're already far away if you did like this step, compared to somebody who didn't do the step during the trick.
Did it feel like that for you? It was basically maintaining the discipline of a soldier in your practice?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. This is like a military, but in a good way. You do what you love to do, but it just has a very strong discipline. And in the military, you have a strong discipline too.
So when you transitioned to the shows, because you were with Absinthe for 6 years, right?
Absinthe 4 years. This
4
is a
years.
recent show that I was performing with. Yes, on the Strip, Las Vegas, Caesar's Palace.
But for people who don't know, Absinthe is the top show in Las Vegas.
Yes, I would say so. Absolutely.
Okay. And then before that, you were with Cirque du Soleil for how long?
I started in 2018 or 19 with Cirque du Soleil, but I did 2 different shows with Cirque du Soleil. My first one was Bazaar. We toured around the world. We did Creation in Montreal, and then we went to India with our premiere, and then we went on a tour around East countries. So we would stay and perform in Abu Dhabi, Qatar, Amman, Lebanon. Yeah, it was a beautiful tour with the show. We would always change the location.
Mm-hmm.
And then I decided to sign a contract with Show O in Bellagio. I stayed there around 1 year, and then COVID started. O is a beautiful show. It's one of the oldest ones. It's like iconic to see. If you want to see Cirque du Soleil, I think O is one of my favorite shows.
Something I asked you when I saw you was when I see these people, because I saw the Absinthe show, and I was curious, what they're doing seems amazing to me. I know that if you're a championship level acrobat, you can do so many tricks. You can do so much. You've learned all this stuff your entire life, but then you go perform for a show, and the show wants you to do, you're probably doing one performance over and over again. And so I'm curious, what percentage of your capability are you even bringing to the show?
Yes, so you're an acrobat, you have this background, you're professional, and whatever you do in the show, you get ready with the routine and you perform it. Sometimes it can be the same tricks that you was doing in sport. Sometimes it can be something new that you learn specifically for the show, because every show has different theme, different idea, different presentation, and different. Sometimes you work with different people every time in different shows. So you learn a new routine, you learn new tricks, or you bring the old tricks that you're very good at and perform. But you always, like if it's acrobatic gymnastic, you can do basically anything that they need you for the show. Yeah.
So you're still bringing your best to it, no matter what.
Of course.
Okay. At least when you did Absinthe, you were one of the base, right? So you were in a 4-person performance.
Yes. That
Okay.
was an act with the 4 girls, and
Was that your first time doing a group performance?
that was actually that was my second time.
Okay.
My specialty is acrobatic duo. So I work with one more girl and we do tricks on each other. I'm basing her and she's flying on top of me. Like tricks that I hold her on top of my foot while doing a handstand. One of the tricks, for example. And Absinthe was more about the group when we do tricks 3 of us together and then 4 of us flying on the sway poles.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so that was something new that I had to learn for that show. And we learned very fast and it was a lot of fun.
But there's so much here that I'm hearing from you that applies to so many areas of life where you have this this entire wheelhouse of skill sets that you can do, and then you come onto a team, and now you're on a team, and you get to play a role on that team. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that can be a hard transition for people also. I want to talk about failure a bit. Can we talk about failure?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I want to talk about failing in public. Because most of us, when we fail, is very private. No one knows about it.
Yeah, like we take it so serious and we always like struggle about every little thing. Like that was wrong. Oh, my hand was there. And then the trick was a little bit to the side. And yeah, like we notice it so much, but nobody else does.
Yeah, you notice the little things that were off, right?
Yes.
But then there's also the big failures. Like, have you ever fallen in front of an entire audience?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not robots. It can happen.
Because you're not robots. I think,
Yes.
because I know as a guest, I'm terrified. I want you to win.
Mm-hmm.
I want the trick to go well. And I spent half my time at Absinthe watching the performers. I spent the other half watching the audience.
Oh, really?
I was just looking.
I never heard somebody doing it.
You've never heard someone say they watched the audience before?
Yes, I did actually. But I thought I'm doing it because I'm a performer. And when I used to work in the shows, I love just going and watch the same show over and over again. Like when I was at the end of the show, I would just go the first half and watch before my performance.
So when you watch the audience, what do you notice?
I like to watch because every time it's different reactions. And I just like to see like how they react, what do they think, like their eyes, their smiles, like what do they notice, like where should I become better, like what the audience likes, so I can become a better performer on stage.
Yeah, that's smart. That's
Yeah.
smart. I noticed how uncomfortable
But
the
you know the
audience.
performer, so I wonder why you was looking
I'm
at
not
the
a
audience.
performer, but I'm a trainer, so I do audience work.
Oh
and
yes, because you also you can be a gazillionaire in the show. You talk. Do you like comedy? Do you do jokes?
I'm not gonna try out for Absinthe. Not the jokes at that level. They were doing jokes, but the jokes is a great example. I would watch the show. I would watch the audience and see how uncomfortable people got. But during really aggressive tricks, I would split my time. I'd be watching the performer, and then I'd be looking around to see how people were reacting to it. And I would see really, really tough looking guys, and they're like gripping their beer really hard, right? Or they're grabbing their leg, or they're like kind of leaning in this chair. And I realized there's this, you're doing something you've trained on so much, but the audience is feeling this collective level of discomfort, in fear. And oh my God, what happens if this chair falls right now, right? What am I gonna do? And we're all on the edge of our seats because we are also facing our fear. I think we're also facing like the fear of embarrassment. If this person does fail this trick, like we all end up connecting to the times in our lives where we felt embarrassed, where we felt, like we tried really hard and didn't make it. And to be that embarrassed or fell that hard in front of hundreds of people would be like the worst fear for so many people. But when the failure actually does happen, is it that bad, or does the audience just kind of cheer you on and get you back
Interesting.
going?
But when you see somebody falling, or when you see, like, for example, artist falling, you realize that nobody is perfect and you're not perfect. And this is, I feel like, something to connect everybody together when you see somebody not being perfect. And actually what I realize in my practice, when I fall or any of my friends fall on stage by accident, like people start to cheer so much for you, and they like clapping and screaming and support, like do it again, or like you can do it, So when you stand up and you do this trick again and show that you don't give up, they like getting so excited.
Do you think
More excited than if you would do your routine perfect and leave, than if you would fall a trick and then stand up and do it again and nobody expected it and everybody was so shocked. People like it even more.
Do you think that would be true in all aspects of life? If we were more open and vulnerable about our failures and our journeys, that we would get more support for whatever we're working on?
Yes. I think that's something that can unite us all together, to not be afraid of being vulnerable and open to each other, and not be afraid of not being perfect.
At the end of the show, when they ask they introduce all the performers and they say where they're from. These 4 from Ukraine, these 4 from Eastern Europe. None of the performers were American.
No, there was American too.
Was there an American? Who was it? Well, the tap dancers
Tap
were
dancers,
American.
American.
But of all the gymnasts or acrobatic type performers, they seem to all be Eastern European.
Yeah, most of the acrobats are from like Eastern Europe, yeah.
Is
From
that
other
just
countries.
a volume thing where there's more people out there practicing it? Or is it that the regimen and like aggressiveness of training is so much higher there than the US? Like, are we soft on our acrobats?
Yeah, definitely yes. But also I think that the school of acrobatic gymnastic in Soviet Union was very strong. So this is where it came from. And our countries have very strong coaches and trainings for the acrobats and gymnasts. That's why many coaches are traveling and immigrate to different countries to teach acrobatic gymnastic the kids, that they can become successful and go to Olympics. There's many like Russian, Ukrainian, Belarusian names on the documents that are coaches or athletes. I went to India to teach the kids.
To India?
Yes, I was working as a teacher of acrobatic in India. And that would be so cool to open a school in India, because I think that would do very successfully.
You wouldn't open one in the US?
There is already schools in the US.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
But
We have in Las Vegas
have you,
couple gyms, so even I'm not sure how many, but there is my friends from the shows that are teaching acrobatics, the American kids.
but are the American kids
Well,
soft?
what
That's
they
why I
told
want
me,
you.
they're
I
like,
want you to.
we cannot go so hard on them like we used to, like when we were kids and we used to train.
Well, that's what I'm curious about. I want you to be honest. Like, do you think Americans are, because we can be soft sometimes on our kids.
Yes. Like, for example, when I was a kid and my coach needed to stretch me, she could just like sit on my knees and or like stretch me on top of my split and stuff like that. And I would be like, ouch, ouch, but that's okay. I think here, like, you're not allowed to touch somebody that would be ouch level.
You can't touch a kid like that to cause
Yes.
pain. Yeah, the parents would not be okay with that. How old are you? Do you want to share your age or do you not
I'm
want to?
29.
You're 29. All right. For most sports, that's like the peak of your life, right? But for certain sports like gymnastics, I know figure skating is very similar. They retire really young because of how brutal the tricks are on your body, right?
Yeah.
But in terms
Like,
of,
I'm more healthy now than I was in professional sport when I was 17.
you're healthier now
Yeah.
because you're doing less brutality, less damage.
Because it's just not that stressful for my body. Like, I'm still in shape. I'm still doing acrobatics and gymnastics, but not on a level that I would like overtrain myself. I just already have a skill and I perform it when I feel like I'm enjoying performing it. In sport, it's just harder because the tricks are harder, the amount of trainings, amount of hours, amount of tricks. And yeah, there was a time when I couldn't get up off my bed because I had such a big pain on my lower back and I just couldn't walk.
That's when you were professionally.
Yes.
So you transitioned from professional athlete to performer, but now you're transitioning from performer to not performing anymore, but you're still in the prime of your life.
I would not say that.
Oh, okay.
I'm always a performer. I'm just taking a break for now.
Oh, so you might go back, you think?
You never know. Like, I love performing. It's always going to be in me. I love being on stage. It's always going to be in me. Yeah, but now I'm just taking a break.
But you've gotten into something that is equally as dangerous and aggressive. Now you're doing free diving.
A couple years ago, I started to do professionally free diving because also at some point when I had a problem with my lower back in professional sport, swimming and free diving is something that saved me from the trauma. And when I was consistently swimming, I realized that it helped me. It helped my lower back to heal. Doctors was like, you're not going to be able to do any competitions and continue sport. And one doctor told me, try swimming. That may help you. And I love swimming, so I tried. I went to the swimming pool in different city by bus at least once a week for 2 hours away of the city because we did not have a swimming pool where I was living. And it really, really was a life changer for me.
So then are you free diving right now for fun because you enjoy it, or are you pressing the limits for yourself?
I would say I love free diving and I always look for an opportunity to do it. So whenever I have a chance to travel and go in the underwater caves or with like some cool free diving locations, I'm always doing it. And this is something I'm happy and feel myself. And that's like a sport as well because it has a lot of breath control, breathing control. And breathing is very important too. Like, it can heal you from a lot of sickness in your body if you know how to breathe. If you do breathe every day, you do like breathing exercise, and also calm down your heartbeat and learn how to transfer the air from your stomach to your chest to your head. You know, when you go free dive, you have this pressure and you need to learn how to equalize. So it's also a lot of practice.
What's the longest you've held your breath?
4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Yeah,
Underwater or on land?
on land.
On land. All right. What about underwater? What's the longest?
Underwater, when I was swimming, I would say 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Yes.
I mean, 4 minutes is insane though. How do you do 10 deep breaths and then hold because you're over oxygenated, or what is your build up to the hold?
You exercise first. You do like certain practice before you go for the breath hold for a long time. And there's usually an exercise when you, for 8 seconds, you inhale, then you hold 8 seconds, then you exhale 8 seconds. And then you keep doing it over and over
You
again.
repeat.
You repeat,
Got
yes.
it. I got you.
Sorry for my English.
Your English is great. None of us speak Ukrainian, so you're fine. So inhale for 8 seconds, release for 8 seconds, and then
Yes.
repeat how many times?
You do it at least 6 times like that.
6 times. And then on the 6th inhale, you hold.
There is a different exercise. Then after that, you hold for 30 seconds and you exhale. Then you hold for 1 minute and you exhale. And then you try to breathe with your stomach, try to breathe with your chest, try to breathe with your nose. So when you like practice and you get ready your body and you also calm down your heart, you're like very calm and peaceful. And then you can start to hold your breath and try to go for as much as you can.
I think I admire,
but not right away. Like you warm up first.
Yeah, I hear that. I admire the practice and the discipline in it, but also the progression. You don't just go straight to, because what I was going to do later is when you told me how to do it, I was going to go home and go straight for 4 minutes, right?
No.
Ella said 4 minutes. I'm competitive. I can do 4 minutes because that's my ego and also my driver. Like,
then
don't
you
tell
will be
me.
Disappointed.
Oh, so you don't think I can do 4 minutes?
I think you can, but don't do it right away. Warm up your body first. And
I'm not a
then you go for
warm
4
up person,
minutes.
Ella. I just go for it. But I hear it's that, but also just the mental toughness that it takes to do all the things you do. It's impressive. Do you have any tips for how people can be more tough mentally?
Just don't look too far. Start from little things. Start from something. Even like if you have a goal and you think it's so impossible to reach and you don't even know where to start and you don't see the light in the end of the tunnel, just start from something, from very little thing that can lead you to a dream and do it. Like, don't do something big, do something small, but really do it consistently. I would say consistency is my tips.
I'm hearing consistency from you, but you also just said really do it. And I think sometimes we make half-ass commitments or half-ass decisions, and nothing that you said in all of you that you shared thus far was really a half-ass thing. It was, I'm going to be this level performer. I'm going to be this level of championship acrobat. And then even with like free diving, you can't really half-ass do it when you really have to maintain mental control when you're down there. And so much of it is for me just sending it. You have to just go for it.
Yeah, you have to go for it, exactly.
And then from there, start small, but you have to go for it and risk and risk and risk. And then when you look back, you'll see how far you got, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like if you want to be a free diver, you want to like go to underwater cave and hold your breath for 4 minutes under the water and reach like 30 meters deep. Go tomorrow to the swimming pool and swim a little bit and see how you feel in the water. That would be like a first step for it.
Yeah.
If you've never done it before, I would say.
Yeah, hold your breath for 30 seconds.
Yeah, hold your breath for 30 seconds.
You know, we went with you on one of those diving trips, and which is where we met, actually, that trip. And I'm so uncomfortable in the open ocean. It's crazy. I didn't want to show that, but I'm so uncomfortable, and so was my wife. And so we were definitely both outside of our comfort zone. It was beautiful.
Also, the water was very cold.
Well, the water was cold. Look, I can name all the reasons it was uncomfortable. The water was cold, like...
Kelp forest.
Yeah, Chad's like, hey, Brian, come swim through the kelp with me. I don't want to swim through the kelp. I'm like terrified of this kelp. And he's like, come down.
So beautiful.
He was like, I remember this one moment where Chad goes, he's like, hey, there's a swim through, right? Where the kelp is the kelp's basically covering everything, but if you go deep enough, you can get under it. And I just looked
stuck in
and I
kelp.
looked down. I was like, I am not going to get stuck under there. But I didn't want to look like a punk, so I did it. And I sucked it up and I did it. And I get in trouble like that all the time by just sucking it up and going for it. But it was so cool to see all of you so comfortable with it. And it seems I don't think I was ever in danger, but my mind was creating the danger that wasn't really there.
Why do you think you have a fear?
Of water?
Yeah, of being in open water.
When I was a kid, look, you saw it come up right here on the show. I don't like when people tell me I can't do stuff. So if you tell me I can't hold my breath for 4 minutes, but I'm like, okay, watch me do it. And my whole life is like that, right? And when my parents realized this was true for me, so I was with my family. We're in Palm Springs on vacation, and my dad was teaching my sister how to swim. I might have been like 3 or 4 years old. My dad's teaching my sister how to swim. And
she's older than you?
She's older than me. So she's 3 years older. She's 7. She's learning how to swim. And I didn't like that he was teaching her and not teaching me. And so I got up and I told my mom, hey, Mom, I'm going to go swim. And my mom kind of laughed, right? Okay, fine, go swim. She thought I was joking.
Oh, at 2.
I walked to the deep end of the pool and I just jumped in. I just jumped in and I just told myself, I'm going to go swim. Watch me prove how I can swim. And it terrified my mom. And like my dad had to put my sister to the side. And I don't know how long I was down for, but they had to basically like rescue me out of the water. Right. And so I think sometimes when I'm in water, and I've done triathlons and things like that, but when water gets in my nose or something a certain way, it kind of takes me mentally back to that feeling of almost drowning as a kid. But it was also the
And
moment.
you still remember it, even with that you was 2 years
I think
old.
my body remembers it. I do remember it happening.
Because usually people, like kids, they start to remember everything after 3 years.
I was 3 or 4. I wasn't 2. I was 3 or 4, and I remember the feeling of drowning. And so when I get water in my nose to this day, I get this panic feeling. And I started doing triathlons to try to get over it, to force myself into the open ocean, to go swim, to deal with that fear. And I would say it got a lot better to the point that I can go swim in the ocean, but it's still, for me, going under the water and staying underwater is the blocker that I haven't gotten over yet.
I think freediving would be very helpful for you to get over your fears. Like to actually take a time and work on your breath holdings and breathing exercise and calm down and go like very peacefully deeper and deeper in the water and see how would you feel. Like start from 5 meters and then see how you feel. Yeah, because it's a lot of work with your mental health too. Like I was doing this trainings that calls Deep in Fitness here in Las Vegas. This is trainings for underwater workout. So you go, you work on your breath holding under the water and you work out under the water. So you're lifting weights, you run with weights under the water, then you swim, then you jump out of the water, you do like push-ups and jumps and again lifting weights and then jump in the water, swim and go under the water, lift weights. So it's like the whole routine that you do with holding your breath. And you will be surprised, but there was so many UFC fighters that were struggling with like stress or anxiety or like always like being in a fight mode. And this is something that would help to calm you down and being in peace with your body, with your mental. And yeah, that was like I think that's very helpful for people that are struggling with.
That's in Vegas?
Yeah, that's in Vegas.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I am terrified of it, but if you go, I'll go.
Okay.
If you
Let's
go, I'll go, but I will never go by myself.
I'll help you to get rid of the fears.
I'll never
for
go by
sure.
myself. All right, we're almost out of time. You wanted to ask me something, though. Do you still want to ask me right now?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your question for me?
Tell me, please, the advice for me and for everybody, how to be successful in life, how to become a better version of yourself, since I know you help people to become a leader and to become successful.
So you're asking me for like the overall secret?
Tell me just one. Tell me just one tip. Like you ask me for the tip, I ask you for the tip.
Well, one I talk about on the show a lot, so I'll repeat that first, is just you can't half-ass things. You just have to go for it. Just go all the way through and see what happens. If you fail, fine, you'll move on, but you can't half make decisions. So I think so many people don't achieve their goal because they weren't willing to risk all out. They weren't willing to have the conversation that needed to be there, or they were too afraid of going bankrupt. They're afraid of losing their jobs, so they never ever risk. So one is just you have to go all out. The second thing, and I'll be honest, I even tell people this that are going into any sort of leadership training, if you're going into AA, if you're going to law school, when you get there, remember how I said I watch the audience?
Yeah.
I watch the audience everywhere I go. And what I look for when I watch the audience, if I'm a participant in something, is I look for who the winners are and who the losers are. And I just go play with the winners. I find the winners in the room, and that's who I want to hang out with. Because like AA, for example, there's people that go to AA who want to be sober, and there's people that are going to AA because they were forced to go. But I think in anything in life, there's going to be people that really want to be there and want to go for it, and people that don't. And you're better at this than you might even realize, but you want to hang out with the people that are really going for it. So you going back into this program, when you go there, if you go try to be in a relationship with everybody in there at once, you'll fail, and not all of them are worth your time yet.
So
Is this
you
landing?
just play with leaders.
You get to go play with leaders, and then you will rise up to the level of the people you're playing with.
But what about people that are not leaders? And what about to like help them or support them to become one?
Do you feel like you're a leader?
Yes.
Then that question doesn't even apply to you. You're worried about everybody else right now?
First, about myself,
Uh-huh.
but I would love to support other people.
I see the leader in everyone. It just doesn't mean that they're willing to risk at that level. So first they get to go play at the highest level that they're capable of, and then surround them with other people playing at their highest level. And then they'll just consistently move up. It's the same thing you said. You can't go hold your breath for 4 minutes right now.
Yeah.
Most of us. But hold it as long as you can, and then surround yourself by other people that are also holding their breath as long as they can. And then you'll move up. I think what often happens is when we have these big friend groups and we have all these people we can be in a relationship with, we go get into relationship with people that we're comfortable with or that buy our bullshit, won't call us out, that keep us down. Do you know what I'm saying? We get into relationships that keep us down. We keep friendships around that don't challenge us to be better. And so the biggest thing, I think it's not that we don't want to be better. It's, am I willing to risk it? And am I willing to surround myself with people who will keep me accountable? Is this landing at all for you?
Yeah.
And now I'm turning into and I don't like saying this, and I don't even know if I'll post it, but that's my invitation to you is you go all out and then focus on the people that are going all out. And then if you do that for 5 weeks and you're crushing it, then give me a call and I'll talk to you about now how to support everyone who's not going all out. But don't support them before
Because
you're
they are
ready.
there for that reason.
They are.
Like people who don't need it, they don't go there.
They are. Right, they are. But they have to show up first. And what'll happen is because you care about them, you'll give up your vision to go support them when they're not even living up to what they said they were going to do. And then that's a waste of your energy. So now I'm meeting you and I know we got to go. I'm meeting you in like a hard coaching conversation right now because this is where I see so many people get it wrong.
I feel like you changed.
Oh yeah, because I turned on. Yeah, I turned on. It became a lot more okay.
It's like a different person now.
Is it scary?
No, but yeah.
Well, my intensity
not scary. No, it's actually great.
My intensity goes up because
you like honest. You are yourself, like who you are, and you don't care. Like you're saying your vision.
What's interesting is all of this is part of me. I've been my authentic self this entire time, but you're asking me something. You're now asking me for coaching, and I'm meeting you with the intensity required. But I'm also meeting you with the intensity required to make that decision, to decide for the first 5 weeks, I'm just going to focus on me winning and playing with the other people that are winning and playing as hard as me. And then once we're winning, I'll go help everybody else. But by the way, they could also be playing as winners too. You hear what I'm saying?
Yes, because we all have to be on the same level, on the same wave.
Yes.
Like if you catch the wave, you own it, and we all on it.
And the challenge is that they come up and play at the level you're playing at, not that you collapse how you're playing to go help them.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
Don't lose the wave.
That's my answer. Okay. So for this journey that you're on now, I don't know whether you're going to end up back performing or where that's going to go, but for people who want to follow you, how can they follow you on this journey?
Yeah, definitely. I do share a lot of my life and my experience on social media, like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. That is Elariab, my social media handle. My full name is Ella Bogdanova. You also can find my work and my performance and competitions on YouTube. So this is where I'm mostly sharing and posting my life and what is happening with me and where is my new journey is taking me.
Thank you for being courageous and showing up and sharing so much on this show. I think people are going to take a lot from this about resilience and dedication is what it takes to win in life. So thank you for helping make a difference for some people today.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you for the great energy today.
Yeah, love it. That is it for another episode of Growth Snacks, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today. If you like this type of content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until we see you next time, what are you willing to risk?